Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sports Breakdown once again. So today we are going to do the review of India versus West Indies first 2020 match. So India won the first 2020 comfortably by 6 wickets, beating the mighty West Indies. And what a debut that Ravi Bishnoi got. I mean, good that India gave the youngster a chance. Obviously retained by Lucknow Super Giants, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And we've got alongside Surinder sir for coming for the first time on the Sports Breakdown. So thank you so much, Surinder sir, for joining the Sports Breakdown. It's great to have you. And we have Varun, Prasanna who joined, and Tanish and Yash who joined us, I think, in previous videos. But this is the first time that Surinder sir is appearing on the Sports Breakdown. So thank you so much for accepting the invite.
Thank you, Pawan. It's a great to see this format. Great to see some familiar faces, and it's great to discuss cricket. So I'm looking forward to the podcast, and I wish you all the best in the future. Keep up the good work, and let's take cricket around the world.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so let's go and analyze this match. So, I mean, the first 2020, Ravi Bishnoi got a debut. We saw, Chahal coming back, Bishnoi and Chahal once again. I mean, talking about the West Indies first innings, though, there is some noise from some end, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who is it from, though, but still coming. Yeah, coming on to the first innings. Yeah, Nicholas Pooran scored a mighty 61. But talking about I mean, we'll talk about the batting first. How good was? I mean, Kyle Mayers. I've not seen him opening much, but this is good. I mean, Mayers scored 31 of 24, and Pooran scored 61 of 43. But the others could have done a bit more. Surinder sir, coming to you first, do you think they were 10 or 15 runs short, first of all, West Indies to win this match?
I'll be honest with you. Soon as India won the toss and were bowling first, I couldn't see how the West Indies were going to win this game. I did a podcast yesterday for the Punjabi guy, and I
Yeah.
said the same thing yesterday. I said, look, if India, all they have to do is win the toss and bat. If they bat second, if they would chase, then the spinners would definitely, the due factor of Eden Gardens would have a massive effect on it. And India chasing a small target around 157, 160. I think any target for say 170, India may have struggled, but soon as they were batting second and Rohit and Ishan gave them the good platform, the game was almost over.
I agree with you. Yeah. Coming to Prasanna over here, I mean, Nicholas Puran, we haven't seen him playing much. I mean, Indian conditions, we haven't seen him much performing like this. I mean, like today, I mean, scoring half century. But this was a good impact by Nicholas Puran also, showing the statistics as well and the wagon wheel of Nicholas Puran. It's amazing to see him performing like this. I mean, 61 of 43, most of the runs on the straight drive. I mean, most of his runs on onside actually. So, your thoughts on Nicholas Puran today?
He was brilliant. I mean, West Indies lost their fifth wicket at about 90, and they were about and 14 overs or something. And
Yeah.
last 6 overs, they hit like 67, and most of that is down to Pooran.
Mm,
Um, he was actually good today. I mean, someone needed to stand till the very end because wickets were falling. No one was standing. No one was giving a good stand. They were getting some starts, but no one was actually finishing, and he had to be there along with a well experienced finisher in Pollard um, who wasn't at his best as the Pollard we know, but still made some contribution. And
yeah.
he needed that, but in spite of that, I feel they were at least 10, 15 runs short because yes, India bowled brilliantly. I think Bishnoi was outstanding. They couldn't read his googlies. I mean, every time he bowled a wrong one, the West Indies batsmen they were in trouble. They couldn't
Mm.
um, they couldn't read head or tail of it. And if someone could have actually given a stand um, with Puran before Pollard, I think they would have easily got to 170 because we all know West Indies they don't believe in the singles and doubles and all. It's just fours and sixes. So if someone would have stood by him at least 170 or 180, we would be looking at. But all are happy with the way we bowled, and that's what we need to do. We
Mm.
shouldn't have allowed them to um, get to speed because if they once they get into rhythm, then it's very hard to stop.
Very true. And coming to Yash, we'll get Yash's point also on the bowling, especially Ravi Bishnoi, 2 for 17. He's been retained by Lucknow Super Giants right now. His economy 4.25, 17 dots, only conceded 1 4, bowl 6 wides though, but that's fine. But still, I mean, Ravi Bishnoi, 2 for 17, 4 overs. How good was he on debut, especially on debut to perform like this and make impact? Your thoughts, Yash?
Yeah, see, basically, what the first thing what I thought that he might be in pressure, but that was actually not the thing. When when he went for the catch and then he hit the boundary on the very first ball of Yuzven Chahal, so I thought that he might be in very under a lot of pressure. But when it comes to his bowling with with the very first ball, it looked like it was his day. He had actually captured his day, confined his territory, and it was his day to go on for the wickets. And a commendable effort, a commendable job by Ravi Bishnoi, and he has again proven that why he was retained by a team like LSG, why none of the player like Yuzven Chahal was retained. I'm not actually doing something other excuses, but yeah, the player like Ravi Bishnoi has been a commendable for since very last two IPL seasons. If you look at his bowling efforts, so it was his day, and yeah, very proud of him that how he came back and delivered his for the debut.
Hmm.
Yes, we know they've done a deal. We know they've done a deal for. He's been tapped up, as in football terms. Prasanna will know. They tapped him up. KR Rahul tapped him up because there's no way Punjab would not have kept Ravi Bishnoi for 4 crore because that guy's a
Right,
champion
right,
bowler. That guy's a
Hmm.
champion bowler.
Very true.
right.
Very true.
I
I
agree,
mean,
Paji.
yeah. And coming to Varun also, I mean, talking about the rest of the, Indian bowlers, Booby and Deepak, good to see Booby, bowling. I mean, he wasn't used much in the death, but what was your impression towards Bhuvneshwar Kumar today with his economy and his bowling?
Well, first of all, I think Bhuvi, he's an injury prone player, but still he's, somehow making it back to the Indian side. And that's first of all good to see, a power play experienced, player and then the experienced death bowler. But what I am not seeing here is he's not been so exceptional at the death overs this time. At this time. So I just want him to bowl the power play overs and maybe 7 and 8 overs. Just focus like Deepak Chahar. What MS Dhoni does to Deepak Chahar, Rohit Sharma to do to Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. He's a pure power play bowler at this stage. If you look at his economy in the death overs in the past, maybe I can say 1 to 2 years, after the CWC 19 in England, his economy rates have been skyrocketing in the death overs. So I think he should just stick to power play overs because that's where he's producing the most swing and the most impact. So that's my words on Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Yeah. And coming to Tanish also, Krishna here says good for us. Really very much impressed with Puran's performance. If he continues this type of explosive batting like this against India talented bowlers, Puran might be higher score for SRH. Do you agree with this, Tanish, right now about Nicholas
See,
Puran?
absolutely,
Krishna,
absolutely. I
Krishna,
have met.
Krishna. Let's
Uh,
let's first be the way you commented. It actually shows that you are with West Indies, right? Please don't do this, man. Let the series ends,
Country
and then
first
we'll
before
discuss
anything
about that.
else.
yeah, firstly, I would
Right.
say that Nicholas Pooran as a West Indies player, he's a bit dangerous for us when he comes in form. But as a SRH player, he would be it would be really very SRH fans would be really very happy. Like Krishna and Varun, they would be really very happy to see how Nicholas Pooran played today, like 61 in 43 balls, I guess, and his
Hmm.
performance was
Yes.
totally great. Like when Brendan King and Kyle Mayers got out, he just took the charge and played really well for his team. And if we have a look at his stats, it is really very impressive over the past years in international cricket. But his performance in IPL was a bit low previous year.
Mm, very true. And these partnerships coming to Aryan as well, the partnerships at the end, that was crucial for West Indies to get 157 also. Pollard
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Pooran, especially that 45 of 25. Otherwise, I think they would have got a lower score than 157, and that could have been difficult for them to even defend. Have a chance against India as well.
I don't know. First of all, answer me one question. Why does bloody every player performs once they are kicked out of Punjab? Pooran, Rahul,
Bishnoi, Bishnoi.
What a-
Bishnoi. No, I was expecting this from Bishnoi, but I also want him to do well in Lucknow. But it's like rubbing salt over my wounds, seeing Puran hit these huge sixes. But again, no. Jokes aside, very good innings, especially the way he tackled spin, because spin was a big problem for the West Indies coming into the series, as we all would have known. And he's obviously a quality player. It's just that last season he didn't get it. Can happen with anyone, but yeah, that's why paid that amount of money, because I think Brian Lara more than anyone else knows the potential, knows the talent that Nicholas Pooran is, and he showed us a glimpse of today. And Pollard keeping himself down in the order, I found it a bit strange, but in the end, it all worked out well for West Indies, I guess. So
Mm.
157 still Pawan 30 runs short. Wouldn't have made much of a difference. Yeah.
True, true. And coming back to Surinder, sir, I mean, talking about the fast bowlers, especially Harshal Patel, 2 for 37, 9.25. And about Chahal, I mean, the spin, I mean, leg spinners. I mean, usually we won't go with the two leg spinners from India. I mean, Bishnoi and Chahal leg spinners. Would you have gone with a Kuldeep today instead of a Chahal, or do you agree with going with two leg spinners today?
Uh, as I said, the good thing is you can play either spin, off spin or leg spin. The fact is, you've got to have a top quality player, and obviously we know how good Chahel is, and any bowler that bowls with him is fine. I have a lot of problems with the Indian bowling. It is so similar. There's no variation, and that's why Pooran rocked the runs. You know, if Bumrah was playing, Pooran would have been out for zero. You know, I'm quite confident of that. Pooran is poor run. You know, that is the name of Pooran. So I think, what, as I said, from today, what we can see is India needs some variation in the bounce. I like Varun's thing about having Bhuvaneshwar Kumar just bowl it. By the eighth or ninth over, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar should be resting and sitting in the dugout. He doesn't have to bowl after the ninth over. So, you know, I want to see Arshdeep playing for India because I think that's the left arm bowler. Harsha Patel, you know, is a 10 and over bunny. You know, he takes the wickets, he gets the wickets. You know, his slow ball is good, but by the time the IPL comes, batsmen will work him out, and RCB will waste the 10.75 crore that they, because he will not win another purple cap. I guarantee you that.
Coming back to you though, Tanish, do you think they could have utilized Venkatesh Iyer a bit better? Because I mean, Deepak Chahos only got 3 overs, but do you think Venkatesh Iyer could have got another over, or do you think they just gave that 1 over just to see him bowling? I mean, only just for 4 runs in 1 over. Do you think Venkatesh Iyer could have been given an over or two, especially in the middle
See,
overs?
on this, I would agree slightly a bit. Like Varun said, that Bhuvneshwar Kumar is very injury prone, and he should be given something around eight to the eighth or the ninth over. But what I feel is like we can restrict Bhuvneshwar Kumar. We can give him first 2 overs, and if he is expensive, then maybe we can try Venkatesh here with 1 or 2 more overs. Like if Bhuvneshwar Kumar goes a bit expensive, like I was watching a stat where his spell was something around four overs, and he gave something around 47 runs in that match, and he just took 1 wicket. So what I feel is if something like this happens, that maybe we can give 1 or 2 over to Venkatesh here.
Hmm. And seeing this from Ravi Bishnoi here, more I mean, bowling full lengths, good lengths. Seeing this getting two, I mean, bowling offside also right-handers getting 2 wickets, crucial wickets also from Ravi Bishnoi. So yeah, let's go to the batting. I mean, especially we have a lot to talk about the Indian batting, but what explosive start from Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan. And coming to Prasanth, how good were I mean, how good was Rohit Sharma? 40 of 19. I know he was dismissed, but what a explosive start from both Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan.
Yeah, Rohit Sharma and Eden Gardens, a never-ending love story. Because that's one ground where he always likes to turn up, and that's the thing. Rohit Sharma, he might take time to settle, but once he is in full flow, it's very hard to stop him. And I don't think he connected that ball when he actually got out. The sound of the bat was actually not bad, but it just went so high in the air that there was no distance on it. And Ishan Kishan, till Rohit Sharma was batting, he was happily playing the second field because Rohit Sharma was just going on. But once he got out, Ishan Kishan had to take over, and he looked all over the place, especially in Nostal chase. He couldn't put bat to ball, and in the quest, he went for it, and he had to go for it at some point of time because his strike rate was so low, and he got
Hmm.
out. He got out right
But do you
before.
think that was one shot too many from Rohit Sharma? He could have at least been a bit calm, and after getting that 50, he could have maybe accelerated. Or when the target was near, he maybe could have
I
accelerated.
mean, there's two ways of looking at it. One way you look at it and you say he's in good hitting form and he just wants to keep continuing hitting because he is
Yeah.
milling the ball. It's not that he's just out of place and he just want to have a get out of jail shot. But on the other
Hmm.
side, And on the other side, as you said, he could have probably played the extra one or two balls. And that shot, I think it was in his slot. He wanted to hit it. He just got it too high instead of the distance. Else we wouldn't be having this conversation of saying whether he could have stood for a while, because he was middling the ball. He took liberties with Dorian Smith. Yeah, I think 22 runs off that 1 over. I
Yeah.
mean, you bowl it short, he's gonna hit you every day. You bowl it full, he'll smack you straight down the ground. And I don't blame him for going for it. Just that he didn't connect it properly as he would have wished to.
Very true. Yeah. Cricket Fantastic over here says, I think that India wasted the form of Chahal, Kuldeep, and Bhuvi by just resting them. When they were in the best form, they were replaced and they lost their form. Your thoughts on this, Varun, and then we'll come to Aryan also. Yeah.
I think after Dhoni retired, Chahal, Kuldeep, and Bhuvi, I think their form, went down in a slope. I mean, Kuldeep, we gave him many of chances. KKR gave him many of chances. By the end of the day, they dropped him, and India also dropped him. So I think
Yeah.
they were just depending on that one player behind the stumps. I think that's where the dependence should be gone by now. It's been years, almost like what 3 or 4 years right now. So I think Kuldeep Yadav, he can make a comeback, but only if Yuzvendra Chahal or Bishnoi is not available now, because they both are in red hot form. Maybe if we're 2-0 in the series, Kuldeep Yadav can get a chance. But you can't always say he might have a permanent spot in the playing squad anymore, because also the T20 World Cup is coming up, and now you need to try a lot of other formations, a lot of other bowlers. So Kuldeep Yadav, he might have been a good player, but now not so much anymore. So I don't see his future.
Hmm. Aryan, your thoughts on this comment also, especially, I mean, Varun gave a valid point, but your further thoughts on this comment about basing the form of Kuldeep, Chahal, and Bhuvi by just resting them. Yeah.
First, I'll come to Bowie. Too many injuries. That's all I can say. That hampered him. Not the team resting him, and he was only out because of his fitness issues. And then, obviously, by that time, the likes of Shami and others came up. Shardul came into the scene, and then it made his place even more difficult. But since Virat Kohli, since that T20 World Cup, he always bagged Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. He said that he's gonna be in the side more often than not because of his experience. And I'm still concerned about his death bowling pretty much, because I'm okay with him bowling in the power play, but I still feel that that knuckle ball, everything he has is getting ineffective day by day. And I think he should play the role that Trent Bolt played in the Mumbai Indians. Give him straight 3 overs in the power play, find someone else to fill in the role of the death bowling. So I think that should be the way to go. And then coming to Kulcha again, man, as soon as they broke off, I was like they should play together. But I don't know. Now Ravi has come in and Ravi has said, "Sorry guys, this place is mine." So two leg spinners, obviously an attacking option, and I like it. I really like how Rohit is thinking about the future. I really like how he's thinking about the T20 World Cup. Always ready to try something, not in the fear of the result. So very very good signs for Indian cricket right now. Yeah.
Hmm. Coming to Krishna's point also, will take his point also. Comment, Harshal picked 2 wickets, but he's expensive today. What if Avesh Khan or Shardul might be given chance in next match, or same playing 11? Your thoughts, Tanish, on this?
Uh, See, on this, I would say that Patel took 2 wickets, took two crucial wickets, and maybe he can get another chance in the second match, because I don't think so that the team management would try Avesh Khan, although they can go with Shardul Thakur because his performance has been great if we have a look in the South Africa series. But what I feel is maybe we can see a change, one or two changes in the second match, and maybe Shardul Thakur comes back and Harshal Patel gets a rest.
Very true. Yeah. And coming back to the second innings of India also once again, and we have to talk to Surinder So over here. Oh, Prasan had a point. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
tell. Yeah.
regarding that comment, I don't mind if he's expensive as long as he takes wickets. I wouldn't mind see a 3 for 40 or 2 for 37, because the thing is you're taking wickets, and that's more important than the runs you kind of give. Because even if you say give go at like a 9 or 10 economy, if other bowlers hoping they go at a lesser economy, I would rather prefer say a 3 for 40 than like
Hmm.
say a 0 for 20 or 1 for 30, something like that. Yes, you are going for runs, but you are taking wickets, and wickets is all that matters. Even if 10 or 20 extra runs you give, it's okay as long as you pick the wickets, because those runs can some those runs, if they're minimal in value, they can be somehow compensated by a batsman.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
problem with
Pawan,
that, Prasanna, the problem with that is we know how the wickets are going to be taken. Slow ball catch, slow ball catch. That is a one-trick pony. The guy's a one-trick pony, and that's why he should not be anywhere near this Indian team. He's okay for RCB. He can give 50, take 4 wickets for RCB, but not for India. We can do better than that, and I think the player that can do better, I'll keep on saying it until he gets selected, is Arshdeep. Arshdeep is a different level bowler. He gives the Indian attack, the death bowling. That's what I'm saying. Where India is struggling now, they have too much similar type of bowlers. They've got Deepak, Shardul, they've got Bhuvi. That's the same bowler. If you're a batter, if you're batting against those three bowlers, you're gonna have some fun. If you can stay in and put Harshal on that, that's less than, none of them can bowl. You want 35 clicks. So in Australia, where the World Cup is going to be, it's okay in India, but where Australia is going to be, you can't have that. And then
Yeah.
when we look at the spinning options, and it
Pitches
was
are never
really,
slow in Australia.
yeah, it's never going to have. They're going to go for boundaries. They're going to get whacked. And the big issue India have, and this is what I say to a lot of people: look at the spin bowlers, right? We've seen Bishnoi. Bishnoi is on top of Yadav, but we've got Jadeja to come back. Jadeja walks into this team, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got Bapu.
What
So
about Washington Sundar?
when Bapu comes back, Bapu needs to play. So I think, looking at the World Cup ahead, you got to have Chahal has to come in, because Chahal's our premium bowler. Then you got
Yeah.
Bapu, and then you got Jadeja. Those three have to be on that plane. And then would you take Washington Sundar, or do you take another bowler? But they've got to do the same with the bowling. They've got to have one left
yeah,
arm bowler. They've got to have one speedster. Hopefully it's Umran Malik, because I would love to see him bowl in Australia. But they can choose one between Shardul, Deepak, or Bhuvi. They can only afford to take one of them, because otherwise in Australia, where the World Cup is going to happen, or if they come to England, these bowlers will they will get hit out the park.
yeah.
Interesting.
Pawan, just one quick point. Sorry
Yeah.
to cut you. Just very short point. If I come to the technical side, it's cutters, slow balls, okay in India, but sometimes the batsman will line you up and they'll sit like, okay, he's only gonna bowl the cutter. And if it's on pace delivery, then it's already an advantage to the batsman, because he can just swing through the line. And so Australia, you have short boundaries on some occasions. I think his slower balls are going to be ineffective if we are looking at the World Cup.
Yeah.
So he needs to actually mix it up a lot if he needs to improve. It's not just slower balls. And I think once the analysts of the other teams around the world sit on it, they analyze him perfectly. I think he'll be analyzed. So he needs to add more tricks to his pony. And I think upcoming IPL will just give us an indication if we are going to take Harshal on the World Cup or not. Yeah.
Very true.
Aryan, just a quick question on our point on that. This is you put a When I look at a bowler, when I look at a very good bowler, I look at a bowler that can, like a batsman, can play 3D shots all the way around, 360 shots. You look at a bowler that can get Yorkers in. The Yorker is the key ball. You can be, if you're a good Yorker and death bowler, you can pull the Yorker in at any time, any moment, and that's where the better bowlers are. With Asha Patel, the slower ball, the cutter is going to come in, somebody's going to miss it, trying to hit him for six, and they're going to get caught. And that isn't a great bowler, in my opinion. Bhuvaneshwar Rakadi has the outswing. If the conditions aren't swinging, Bhuvaneshwar is like, a lollipop bowler. You're happy to hit him. And the same is for Shardul. And if you have Venkateshwar as your all-rounder, also bowling a similar pace, a similar type of bowling, you have actually zero variation in your thing. And against a a really good team, they will work that out and they will score. If West Indies have scored 175 today, they could have won this game. So I say I'm happy India won, but you got to be looking at analyzing this team. Kohli is not playing. If Kohli didn't have the brand value, he would not be in this team now. There's better players out there than Kohli. But he's got to play. Rohit deserves his form. If KL Rahul comes back in, where do you play KL Rahul? Do you play him at 4 or 5, or do you play him up top? And why is Gaikwad not being given a chance, because Gaikwad
Mm.
was the best player in the IPL. He's been doing it in the domestic scene, and yet when it comes to India, he won't be playing. So we got to find out where and why these selections are made, because in the ICC tournaments, we win all the Paytm trophies. When it comes to ICC tournaments, that's what it all matters, and I think that's where the problems India have, because their team looks too similar, and I'm really worried on that.
Mm.
And,
And coming to Rishabh
another
Pant,
one, sorry, another one, Harsha Pade. He's not even express pace, and that's one thing.
I'd love to play him. That's the thing. I'm 50 years old. I'd love to play Harshal Patel. My Ballai is there. Bring Harshal Patel to me, man. I'll sort him out.
a cricket fantasy says Harshal Patel isn't the bowler you want in Australia. Might be successful on slow tracks, but his style of bowling might not
Exactly.
work in Australia.
Exactly. He's
Exactly.
bowling
Can you
now.
imagine
He's
him
away
against
from
Babar
South
Azam
Africa.
and Mohammad Rizwan? Jesus Christ, they'll whack him.
To back him.
Especially in
Yeah.
MCG. Especially
Yeah,
MCG.
and we
Harshal
can't see
Patel.
Pakistan winning back against India now.
No. Yeah, and
Very
that's why Pakistan is so good. I always say why Pakistan is so good, because they're Shaheen Shah Afridi, and look how
mm,
many players who are left arm that pace. And they say talk about Mitchell Stark. Mitchell Stark is over the hill now, but Shaheen Shah Afridi, why is he so dangerous? It's the pace he bowls, it's the angles he bowls. He's unpredictable. Whereas the Indian players, and this is one thing what BCCI have to do. They have to allow these players to go out and play in the foreign leagues, and when they go in the foreign leagues, it will improve their game, and they will have to learn new skills, because otherwise we're just going to get the same type of bowlers, and the same type of batsmen. So there's a lot of work to it for India to do coming up, but they've really got to start looking at getting someone like Arshdeep in, and get him in now and give him the chances before the World Cup, because someone like Arshdeep can do your job at the death. He may not be the express post, but he's different, completely different to all these. Avesh Khan is completely different to all these bowlers as well. He has that short ball, he has that bounce. He bowls in awkward places where the batsmen have to play awkward shots. Whereas if you are a good batsman, someone like Rizwan,
mm,
having Shardul Thakur, Deepak Chahar, a buffet type of bowler, he'll score runs like Prasanna said.
yeah. And talking, Ashutosh here says India need to consider both Venkatesh Iyer and Hardik Pandya in the 11 considering Australia.
No,
Your
really.
thoughts on this?
Hardik out, get him out. He's not fit enough to wear that blue jersey anymore. He doesn't bowl. He just tries to. He's a baseball player. He's a baseball player. That's all he is. Stands there like a baseball trying to hit. No, 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 no. Just get him out. Just leave him. Give Venkatesh the chance. Venkatesh has got the
Yes, I
jersey.
agree.
Venkatesh,
I completely
if
agree with you.
Venkatesh has a good IPL for KKR, Venkatesh should be on the plane, because he does both skill sets.
No, I mean
But do you
even
think?
Even regarding Hardik
see,
Pandya,
Hardik, first of all, yeah.
even regarding Hardik Pandya, I think ever since last 1 year, he's been so he's not even bowling, and when he's batting, he's not that great, to be honest. I mean, and I look at him as compared to where he started to where he is now, and I don't want to go on him too much, but I think once your social media gets so big, and you think you're the big I am, and I think that's where both him and Krunal Pandya, to be honest, they have dropped massively.
Mm,
Yeah, and he's the Ryan Parag. He's the Ryan Parag of Rajasthan Royals. Ryan Parag is given this,
yeah.
is given this, such a high platform on social media. And look at his performance. It doesn't warrant that. So again, Pandey is the past. Leave him. Let him enjoy his endorsements, because that's the one reason why I think he's getting picked. He has all these endorsements and all these brands after him. We don't need that. And Venkatesh
Yeah.
Iyer. The good thing with Venkatesh Iyer is if India lose 2 quick wickets at the top, they can draft Venkatesh Iyer to come into that position, because he's comfortable opening the batting.
Completely agree with
Look,
you. Yeah,
even
Tanish, you had a
you don't
point.
even
Yeah.
need Hardik
Yeah,
Pandya,
sure.
because you have Sundar, you have Ashwin, you have Jadeja to fill in his area first of all, and then Venkatesh Iyer will obviously come under contention. India, they're very rare producing like fast bowling all rounder, so he'll definitely be under contention. Hardik, he says he's practicing his bowling, but India won't even give him a chance. So what's the use?
Yeah.
You don't need Hardik at all.
I agree. Tanish, you had a point. Yeah, you were raising your
Yeah,
hand. Yeah.
sure. I just wanted to say like the point about other players. What I feel is we already have many options like Venkatesh Iyer, Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, and many other options. I don't know God knows which injuries Hardik Pandya dealing with. Like it's been 2 years, I guess, and he's not even bowling, and we can't even see him bowling. And as Varun mentioned about Kuldeep Yadav, I also think that maybe at a time when Hardik Pandya was there with where he could bowl and bat as well. At that time, maybe we could have seen Kulcha together, but now I don't think so. We can see Kulcha together, and also Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur are performing really well with the bat and ball. And hopefully, if Venkatesh Iyer gets a good IPL performance this year, then I don't think so. Hardik Pandya can make a comeback in
Yeah,
in
I
the
agree.
in the international side unless he performs really well. And he also said that he's willing to make his country proud in the T20I World Cup. I don't think so. He can make his country proud because he is not having the ball in his hand now.
Yeah. And Ashutosh, I know he's a big MI fan. I'm a friend of his also, and I know he has high hopes of Hardik Pandya. He's saying Hardik played a gem of the innings in the ODI in 2020 in the recently concluded 2020 series in Australia. Don't underestimate by his looks and the way he's on the field. Prasan, your thoughts on this?
Why?
Prasan, we can't hear you. I think
You're
you're
muted.
muted.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice. I was, ma'am, just to go a bit off topic. Karachi have lost 8 out of 8.
Let's not talk about Karachi Kings. They are completely a joke. I mean, this PSL. Anyways, coming back
Yeah,
to
and Mohammad Rizwan just scored 76 or 56 against them today. He's just on another level.
mm,
And yeah, coming back to Pandya, I mean, see, the potential is there. I'm not saying he's a totally bad player and all. He was on form 2019, 2020 IPL. We saw in the T20 in the T20 series against Australia. We saw he has potential, but sometimes I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just that he looks so off confidence now. I mean, you call him an all rounder, but you don't even he's not even bowling. And even in the T20 World
Bowling, he
Cup, he
doesn't
played a
even
half
bat.
century T20 against Pakistan over Shardul Thakur. That made no sense whatsoever.
mm,
And I think I read somewhere that Gujarat Titans are looking to take him as a batsman. I was like, wait, is he an all-rounder or a batsman? I don't even know what we don't even know what he is, and even his batting is he looks out of place. Yes, against Afghanistan he did score, but would be too. He against Pakistan, New Zealand, he couldn't do nothing, and then he turns
mm,
up against Afghanistan and does some stat padding. What's that gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
I
in the
agree.
wrong sport, Prasanna. He should go join you in the USA. He should become playing baseball. That stance, he's going
bro,
to
he
take two
would kill
steps
it
back.
here in USA. He would kill it here in the minor and major leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Unmuk
that's
Chand is
it.
the top scorer here. He was the top scorer last minor league.
No, he needs
Yeah.
to go. He needs. I think like with Stokes at T20 level, England need to move on because if he's not bowling, there's no point of playing him. I said it with Rajasthan Rose. I said, look, Stokes is not bowling. He doesn't deserve his place in the team as a batsman. So you cannot pick a player in a team like India, right? Because what India need to do to win the World Cup, they need one fast bowling batsman who can bat and bowl, and they've got the spinner one. That's why Jadeja and Bapu will always come in before Bishnoi or
Mm,
Kuldeep Yadav, because they can bat. And as we see, the team that has the biggest batting depth and the bowling options will win the World Cup. And I think that's the thing what India have to look at. And Australia will be a better test than UAE. UAE, we knew what was going to happen. The team that won the toss, batted first or batted second, was always going to win the game. So it was quite clear. But Australia will be a bigger test. Different types of wickets, different pressures of a lot of fans there of the world. So I think that's what's going to happen. We've got to be really careful of picking this team. We can't make the stupid mistakes like we made last time, having Rahul Chahar in the team when there was
true.
pointless when you've got Yuzi Chahal in the team. So that's what they've got to be, and no space for Hardik.
And what was that ridiculous shot from Rishabh Pant? I've been saying this for the I don't know 100th time. I don't know what is. I mean, Tanish, explain what was that shot? Was it necessary from Rishabh Pant? Once again, he plays this one-handed shot and gets dismissed. What a silly shot from Rishabh Pant towards the end. Once
See,
again.
absolutely. Like the way he played that shot, I don't know what that shot was. Also, the commentators were saying like Rishabh Pant has a aura where he goes from how to wow and from wow to how. So that's the whole story what he does. And somehow it's really very wow, like the way he plays. And somehow it's how the hell did how the way did he just got out in just these many balls. So it's just a matter of consistency and focus, the which he needs to build. There are many players in the past who played very great knocks for Team India. Like if we talk about wicket keepers, mostly the first name comes is MS Dhoni, and secondly, the way MS used to play, it was really very, very crucial for Team India. But somehow Rishabh Pant cannot put himself in the shoes of MS Dhoni, but somehow he has to play crucial shots to build a great partnership with the other batsmen in case a collapse happens in some of the matches again with middle order.
Let's
Yes.
get Sanju Samson back. Let's just get Sanju Samson back. Yeah,
I mean, Ashutosh, we
if
can
you want
think
a
as
bat,
Delhi Capitals. I mean, wait, sorry for interrupting you, Surinder sir, but
yeah,
I mean, we can't think as Delhi Capital fans over here when India is representing. Rishabh Pant has
It's
to
India
represent India
over
to
anyone
succeed.
else. Country comes first.
Country comes
country
first,
comes
Everything
people
comes
first.
come
second.
next.
Country
Come,
comes first. But you know one thing with Rishabh Pant, he does this so much. He is so inconsistent. How can you get your bowling plans to that man? Because even he doesn't know what shot he's gonna play. So it's crazy. But there is a brilliance about him. I'll be honest with you. But as I said, like again, we need to give someone like Sanju a chance. I really want Sanju to do well, and not just because he plays for Rajasthan Royals, but he comes from Goa. Goa, Kerala being a smaller state, it'd be great to see someone like Sanju given another chance because he has the
but
talent,
why
and
is it
I don't
well
think.
though, Surinder sir? He'll have to take Virat Kohli's spot, right? I mean, they won't
Yeah,
drop Virat Kohli,
Virat out,
sir.
Sanju in. Virat out, Sanju in. Yeah, if Sanju was getting the scores Virat is getting, he'd be out the team. Yeah, so
I
let's not stop. Let's get rid of Virat.
Varun, your thoughts? I mean,
That's too
we'll come to
harsh,
Varun.
but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah,
On
Varun, your thoughts over this one with Rishabh Pant. I mean, Krishna hears his punt drop, Pishan, your wicket keeper will open, and in place of punt, take Sharai's Iyer meanwhile.
Shreyas Iyer, yeah, I would take Shreyas Iyer.
I would take Shreyas Iyer any day. I think he can perform pretty well. He can stay for a long time. He's kind of like a character like Surya Kumar, the first where he can stay and finish the innings. But Pant being dropped, I don't think that will happen. We're just depending on him. He's a
Yeah,
liability
true.
right now for India. Ishan
Hmm.
Kishan, his place is not even fixed. You say you have a Dev Padikal, Rutraj Gaikwad. You have too many openers at this stage. Ishan Kishan is very close to losing his spot. Even after this performance, what 80, 90 strike rate. That's not what you need in a T20 game. So Ishan's place might be gone very soon. Pant is a fix man. He
Sure.
won't be removed anytime soon. Shreyas Iyer, India really need to try him because he is one future captaincy option as well. So if you don't try him right now, you can get him ever again.
Ashutosh CSS, Virat out, lol, definitely in dreams, Paji. That's not gonna happen.
I mean,
Virat Kohli's
that was a
form, I
tongue
mean,
in cheek comment, to be
If he
honest.
retires,
Removing
he retires, he's out.
removing Virat from the team is like removing sugar from a sweet.
I will talk to Modi
Like
ji. I will talk
like
to
Fine
Modi
with
ji
me.
it's like
and Jay Shah. I will say Jay Shah, cut lo isko cut lo. Yeah, well, that's what we will do. We will sort it out. Don't worry. We will get it done. We will get the job done. No more Virat. Get Sanju Samson in. That's what we want. Sanju Samson in.
but
I
this
yeah.
mean,
is so
yeah,
Let me
concerning. I
the
mean,
problem is
let me
this
tell an example.
the sweet is not sweet anymore. I mean, at least for the past few days, it's
Yeah,
been
Yeah, absolutely.
it was sweet 2 3 years back, and it was super sweet for a while. But now the sweetness has
it's
gone down
over.
so
It's over.
drastically.
do you think
The
Virat
chance
Kohli is
come.
overrated? I mean, I know his class. We can't forget about his class from, I
He's
mean,
finished. He's
since
finished.
his debut to 2018 or 19, he was supreme. I have no
Yeah,
question about that. But since 2019, for 3 years, I don't know
yeah.
what's up
Since
with
he's got
Virat
married,
Kohli right now.
Pawan, since he's got married and he's had the child, he's no longer interested, and he should just go home, become a husband full time, and just forget it, and give somebody else a
Let's
chance.
not involve personal problems here, man. It will create
Yeah,
too many
just
problems
stick
in the
to
life.
RCB. As long as he performs like he does for India for RCB and not get dropped, I don't mind. I don't mind, but he should not be playing for the country anymore. He should
Oh,
not relax, and just stick to Test cricket. He's fine at Test cricket.
oh God.
Anish, your thoughts? I mean, Virat Kohli getting dismissed for 17, unnecessary shot over there. He could have at least played over the ground without trying to attempt a shot too much. I mean, once again with Virat Kohli, I mean, I really don't know. I have no words to say about Virat Kohli's form right now.
See, absolutely. As a bias fan, I won't say. Actually, I'm following Virat since 2012. I'm his biggest fan. I would say regarding that. I won't say regarding that. What I would say is like the way the shot which he played was a very ridiculous shot. Like we always remember his performance from 2016 to 2019. He was really very great on and was on the top of his form. But somehow he has a very big difference in his form since 2000 after 2019. So what I feel is uh, like maybe he can make a comeback if he doesn't place those ridiculous shots and the shots which are outside the off stump and something like that. And even if a bowler bowls something like a bouncer or some other delivery, he shouldn't play shots like a pull shot or a square cut, because that's not a shot which he usually plays. So he should play those shots which are in his counterpart, and he should play those shots, and he shouldn't go for those shots which is very difficult, and which makes him get out within 10 or more than 20, 10 deliveries.
But I'll be honest, Tanish, I'll be honest with you. Soon as you have that in your frame, in your mind, when you're going to bat it, that I can't play these shots, I'm going to get out, I'm going to get out, you become half the player. You got to be able to go on that pitch being confident that you can play any shot at any time and you will be able to success. And now we've seen series of failures from Virat, series of failure. The pressure of getting this 71st century is too much for him. And he failed. You look at his form for RCB. We keep on going back to that. He won't even get into RR's team. That's how bad it is. But because he's the brand lead, he's the manager, he's the captain. You just can't sustain that. And unless he gets back into form, you've got to take the emotion what he's done in the past. Yes, his class. We look at someone like Sky. You look at Sky now. Sky is consistently performing every time he plays. He's playing better than he played in the last game, and that's, as a captain, as a manager, if it's a business that you have, that's what you would look at. You'd look at your performance now, and you would look at it about yesterday, not 2 years back. When do you stop? When do you stop having a look at where he is? We have the World Cup coming up. If Virat doesn't get a 50 or 70 in the next few upcoming day, he doesn't warrant his position on that plane. And that's all I can say is we have to be consistent on every single player. If this was my favorite player, Ryan Parag, and he was scoring 50, 60 every game, would I be criticizing him? No, I wouldn't. Yeah. But you have to take the emotion out of it. You have to take the history of it. Yes, the guy deserves respect. He did a fantastic job. He's a fantastic captain for India. But now, presently now, if it was your team, it was your franchise, you wanted to win, would you put this player on that team sheet? There's a question mark on him, and it's not wrong to question mark a player based on their form. And that's the problem with the bowlers. If they, like someone like Harshal Patel had a good IPL, he's been given the chance. If he fails, kick him out. Kick him out.
But the
And
issue
that's
is
what
that Kohli's class is permanent. That's the thing. No, I
he's
mean,
not
all
permanent. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. It's not
Yeah,
permanent.
and you look at what Paji said about Surya Kumar Yadav. Yes, he is. Yeah, you do as a player, you do have probably 2 or 3 games where you're off the hook. That happens for every player, but that's only 2 or 3 games. Otherwise, you see, he is pretty consistent. He has all the shots. He knows where the fielders are basically. And
I
this
agree.
is why I'm speaking of Kohli. This is why I don't want to take this out of context, but this is why I'm this kind of fan who is not obsessed about a player rather than a team. I'm the fan of a team first. Whoever plays in the
Yeah,
team, I couldn't care less who plays for this team. If you're wearing this India jersey, I would support you. I'm not
yeah,
a that's one problem of being a player of a fan, because if the player doesn't perform to your expectation, or if he gets criticizing you you're putting yourself in a situation where, oh, I have to defend him. I've been a fan of this player since so and so, and I need to
you have to
defend
let
him.
go. You have
And
to let go.
that's a big problem. That is one big problem when you are a fan of just one particular player,
Yes.
or rather say a few others, because everyone is in the team, not just Kohli.
Yeah.
You have Rohit Sharma. You have all these players, all these characters in the team.
I
So it's
agree.
But you
obviously
have to
he
look at
was better
Prasanna.
than
Prasanna,
others.
you look at it in this basis, and this is what I tell a lot of people. When Rohit fails after 2 innings or 3 innings, what is the call? The call is for him to be dropped. The call is nobody even thinks about that. But you look at Rohit now. Rohit consistently performs 2 in 5 innings. Rohit will perform. Kohli is not performing 1 in 5. If you take his last 15 to 20 innings, when can you remember in the last 2 years? When can you remember that this is the Kohli in the second innings has got 100 on the board or has made the match winning innings. We can't
You
remember.
can count
Even
on
when
your fingers.
India,
You can count on your hands.
yeah, when India beat Australia in the final Test match, where was it at the Gabba or whatever it was? Who
Yeah.
was the captain? Rahane was the captain. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Your cricket stops. Dhoni has left India and Rishabh Pant has come in. People change, and Kohli has to be judged on his form at this present time. Does his form warrant him going on the team plane to Australia? And that's a straight question that you could ask people. He had a poor IPL. He had a poor series. All the other series that he's played in, they've all been poor. Why does he deserve the gold star? Why does he deserve you have to be equal for every single player. If Kohli played for RR or my team or Warwickshire or anything like that, and he was performing like that, I would question him. You said, look, at the end of the day, the guy's not performing. Yeah, and he set the bar so high. The fall for him is even higher. And now he's lost the captain. Where is the motivation? And you have to put yourself in that shoes. If you are the captain of a team and suddenly you lose that captaincy, and your form goes, what warrants you to stay in the team? And we can't justify that. When people like Rahul are playing better, when we've got other batsmen like Sky, we've got Ishan, we've got so many batting options. If India had no batting options, if it's a small team, and I'm sorry to say, like a smaller team like Zimbabwe or Sri Lanka, where he's the big player with the big history, they walk into the team. But if you are India, when you have 20 batsmen, of the same quality or scoring runs or in form, you have to pick the team that is in form at that present time to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Hmm, very true. And talk about West Indies bowling. We'll come to Varun right now. About Roston Chase, 2 for 14. I mean, of 4 overs. Then Romario Shepherd. I mean, you're a SRH fan. So, how do you see Romario Shepherd's performance, and especially of this West Indies bowling? I mean, the spinners have been doing a decent job, I would say, especially Roston Chase. Fabian Allen was expensive towards the end, but your overall thoughts on the West Indies bowling? Could they have done a bit better, or how do you see it?
I think the Pacers could have done a bit better. I think it was a first for a pure spinners paradise in Eden Gardens today. If you see Indian balls, the spinners performed exceptional. If you see Roston Chase, he performed well. Fabian Allen was the only odd man out here, but other than that, all the spin department looked good for both the teams. Coming to Romario Shepherd, I think yeah, his usual economy is around 11, and that too is just because he comes at the overs from 15 to 20 and bowls around 2 to 3 overs. So
Hmm.
while bowling in the death overs, you can always expect around 10 or 11 runs each over. So I think that's completely fair. But again, he maintained his economy. He is 8 and under, which is perfect for a team for our team first of all. So I am happy. And for West Indies also, this is a good sign. First of all, they found a death bowler, and he can come in at 8 and smash a few sixes. He's a batsman who can stay still.
Hmm.
Until the 20th over, he won't let the 10th or 11th wicket go. He can just stay still, and then
I
bat the innings throughout the game. So he's that kind of a player, and as I said, he's a brilliant death bowler. He can nail the Yorkers quite magnificently. His action is kind of like Malinga as well, so that just gives me a bit of hope that he can be like SRH's Malinga. So overall, I would say Romeo Shepherd is an all-round package. He's a pretty good player for West Indies at the moment.
Mm. And your thoughts also on Sky and Kohli, as we as Prasanna discussed and Paji sir discussed also. Your thoughts on Sky's innings today? I mean, fantastic innings, and on Kohli's, or Kohli's, form in question. I mean, so your thoughts on both these players?
See, if a player is not in form, just remove him, and when he comes back in form, just take him in. India has a population of about 1.4 billion people. More than 1 billion people play cricket in India only. What the hell is happening to their chances? See, he's a good player. He's done well in the past. Okay, time to move on. Just like how we moved on from one, that's it. It's time to move on. There are a lot of youngsters under contention for the spots of 1 to 4. They're not going to get the chance because that man is still sticking in his position while not even performing well. Okay, he's a good player. I understand that. I've been saying this many a times. But when someone's out of form and ICC World Cup is coming up, you can't have a player like that who's out of form. Let him take
Mm,
some rest, let him have his own time, and let him recover well. That's enough. And
mm,
in the meantime, try someone like KL Rahul, Dev the Padikkal. Who else?
mm.
You have so many other players. Why are you just sticking with him? And now
I
going to Surya Kumar Yadav, as I already mentioned before, he's kind of like a character of Shreyas Iyer. He can stick until he can stay till the end. He can provide you the big shots at the end, which is what any team requires. This is what India have not been finding, the consistent middle order. But now, if you see, if Iyer comes in and the Surya Kumar Yadav, cements his place into the XI, you can never see a better middle order for India.
Yeah, very true. Yes. And coming to Tanish once again, what were the positives and the mistakes that India can, I mean, have made in this match, and what can they go? I mean, the lessons that they can learn towards the second 2020, and they can do even more better in the second 2020 against West Indies. So, what do you see with the mistakes and the lessons they can learn mainly from this match? You're muted, Tanish.
See, I was saying the positives are really very, very great. Although the start which we got, Ishan Kishan and Rohit Sharma, the start was really very, very impressive in the power play. And secondly, if we have a look, the Ravi Bishnoi, he performed really well. So maybe he can get the chance in the second and the third T20I as well. And if we have a look at mistakes, then I would say that the shot by Rishabh Pant and Virat Kohli, the shot which they both played, it was totally not worth playing that shot. And secondly, maybe there was a bit change which we can see in the playing 11 is like maybe Venkatesh Iyer getting dropped, and maybe we can see Shreyas Iyer in the playing 11 along with Surya Kumar Yadav, like with the experiment which we did in the ODI series versus South Africa. What I feel is these two are the only mistakes and the positives which I saw. Maybe there were more, but these were the two which I observed in total. Four,
Mm,
sorry, four.
very true. And coming to Paji sir once again, what are the lessons do you think India can make, and what are the changes you would like to see in the second 2020 in your opinion? Any changes you would like to make to the India playing 11?
Well, they're not available. That's the problem. Arshdeep definitely plays instead of Harsha Patel, and I would get rid of Virat. Yeah, I'd get rid of Virat. I think it's time for Virat to close the chapter on Virat. It's time to put that boat has sailed and found and bring in Ryan Parag.
Oh
Because
my.
if
Mm,
it's based on statistics, Ryan Parag, you just play Ryan Parag. That's all I can say. Honestly, as I said, just stick to the same team. Just win the tournament. It's a two-game series. You've won this one. Stick to the same formula, and then we know the big guns are going to be waiting.
I mean, they
We
can change the
know.
order if they want. Maybe they can bring in Sky at 3 and then maybe bring in KL Rahul either at 4, 5 and do some changes. I mean, and
Well,
bring in
if
Charai back.
KL, well, yeah, KL Rahul,
KL Rahul
KL
is not
Rahul,
available.
if KL
Oh,
Rahul is
sorry,
not
sorry.
available because of the thing,
Oh,
but if
yes, I forgot. I forgot.
yeah, we're
Yes, yes.
looking. Yeah,
For this
the
series.
problem,
Yeah.
the problem we were looking at is okay. Where is the problem? And the problem is Virat Kohli. That is the problem. He's not scoring the runs. Give him one more game. Put him through the IPL. See what happens on that, and then yeah, if you make that decision, they have to make that decision after the IPL. If he doesn't perform in the IPL, I think it's time to drop him for the World Cup. That's the call I would make. And but we know the main changes will happen. Jadeja walks into this team. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Aksa Bapu. He can walk into this team, and we know Bumrah is going to walk in this team. It is that other pacer.
Shami
Who will
also.
that other pacer be? And I say we Deepak Chahar, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, or Shardul Thakur. Only one of them can make the squad, and the other one, we have to get the left arm option, and we have to sort the batting order out. And I want to see Gaikwad play. I just want to see Gaikwad
Yeah,
play.
I agree. I agree with him. Yeah. Krishna here says, good luck, PBK's fans. Yesterday, Liam Livingston, today, Odian Smith, and Varun commented, it's not Punjab Kings, it's Punjab Chings. Your thoughts on this, Prasanna? Yeah. I mean, it's Odian Smith today. Very expensive in the first over. And PBK's fans, I don't know what to expect in this IPL
It's
actually.
one game though, so it's hard to say, oh, he's not gonna come good. We all know his batting ability, and it's mainly people know him for his six hitting ability more than his bowling, to be honest.
Yeah.
He came
But
in
again,
very late today. I thought he probably could have come in ahead. He probably even before. I think Pollard and Odin Smith should have come much before. Um,
yeah,
to be honest, and I think regarding the changes, uh, I think they'll probably stick with the same 11. I don't think Venkatesh should be dropped because you always need a six bowling option in case first five bowlers, you have your five main bowlers, and God forbid if anything happens, say one of them goes for expensive
Is
run, we
Shardul
always
available
need a
in this
six.
tour? Is Shardul
yeah,
available in this
yeah.
T20
It's fine.
series?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's there. He
Yeah.
was on the bench. So I think this is all about experimenting. I think we should experiment with Gaikwad because if we don't play him for this series as well, that's the third series where
That
we
is
have
fine.
picked him
Yeah.
and he's not played
I
a
don't get it.
game, which
I
makes no
don't get it.
sense.
Yeah.
And and I think if Rohit Sharma, I think if we win 2-0, I think for the third game, Rohit Sharma could probably sit out and give Gaikwad a chance because Rohit Sharma anyway walks into the 11 anyway. So might
Yeah.
as
who
well.
will be the captain then?
I mean, you're 2-0 up anyway. You can probably experiment in
Yeah.
the third game, to be honest.
Maybe give it to Panto someone. Maybe give it to Panto.
Yeah,
Even
and we are winning the series anyway. You can probably experiment that way. So it's all about experimenting now because we have less than we have probably 5 or 6 months to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So we
why
need
do you think they're not giving Gaikwad the chance? I mean, this is the third time they've not been including Gaikwad in a series. Maybe when
As
I mean South
as I
Africa
said,
series at least.
no, as I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
India
Varun.
already have too many opening options. Dhawan,
yeah.
KL, DDP,
Unless
Rutraj,
Rohit
At least
Sharma
they could have
decides to
given
rest
Venkatesh
himself
Iyer.
for a game,
they
I
could have
don't see
given
Gaikwad playing because I don't see him taking out Ishan Kishan. I don't think he's not getting out of this. So the only way that Gaikwad plays is if Rohit decides to probably rest himself or putting Gaikwad at 3 or 4, which in my opinion, Gaikwad at 3 or 4 doesn't make sense. He's best
Yeah,
openers are best when they play in opening.
that's right.
That's as simple as that.
And that's the problem they have with KL Rahul. Where do they play KL Rahul? Do they open him? They can't finish with it because
but
I
he
think
can come in the middle order at least. Paji sir, he can at least come in the middle order.
Sky has cemented his place. I
Yeah.
think Sky has cemented his place. I think that's one they should. And I say, if why not drop Kohli and put Venkatesh at 3?
Who is he talking? I mean, Iyer coming down the order. Your thoughts? Are you saying Shiraz Iyer or Venkatesh Iyer here? I think it's about Shiraz Iyer, if I'm not mistaken.
Firstly, as we discussed on Ruturaj Gaikwad, I don't know what's the scene, why they are not picking him up. He was a part of the ODI series versus South Africa as well. Then this series, and if I'm not wrong, he was a part of the New Zealand T20 series as well.
Yeah.
And why he is not being picked? Like if we remember, there was a statement by Rahul Dravid, whosoever comes to the comes to a particular tour or is with me in the squad of any T20I series or any international series, that player won't go out without playing a single match. If he's in the squad, he will play a single match for Team India, and that's my surety. Now I don't know where did that surety go? Like
It's
if
because of the
we
bio bubble problem. That's the reason why. They're already picking these players because they're in the bio bubble. They wouldn't be selected otherwise. That's the
Yeah.
reason why they picked these players. And that's why
Right.
they've done that. Yeah.
Krishna here says for me, Deepak Huda in place of Venkatesh Iyer in second match. Your thoughts?
No,
Nah,
no, no.
no,
You
no,
always
no.
need a six bowling option, and Deepak Huda is not a better bowling option than Iyer, to be honest. Even
No.
though he did take wickets in the ODI series, I'm
Yeah.
not sure he's
Nah,
that bad. I'm not
nah.
sure he's kind of an upgrade on Venkatesh Iyer.
Well,
let
that's
I
the
Deepak
knew
thing.
Huda enjoy, let Deepak Huda enjoy with Krunal Pandya, no?
Yeah.
for Gujarat. Yeah.
Before
I
IPL,
knew it was
nice.
about Venkatesh Iyer. He has said Venkatesh Iyer played in the top for KKR and had a blast. Why not for India replacing someone at the top? But we have
Yeah.
too many.
Who would you
Kohli.
The
Get rid of
number,
Kohli.
I
Put
mean,
Venkatesh Iyer there.
maybe instead of Ishan Kishan, yes, probably Rohit Sharma and Venkatesh Iyer, the left hand, right hand thing at the top. But as Varun said, we have too many openers. How much of them are actually flexible and can play number 3 or number 4 or number 5? Because K. Rahul can, even if he doesn't open. But and that's what we see of Rahul so much of nowadays. He opens the innings, he hogs the strike, and but when he comes in at number 4, number 5, he actually tends to perform better. So
Yeah.
he's one player who is flexible with positions. But how many of our players, other players, are actually flexible with positions? I don't think Rukraj is flexible from, at least from what little we have seen, because he's played opener all pretty much all his life. Ishan Kishan, maybe you can say. Venkatesh here, we see if he doesn't bowl, he doesn't get a chance, because T20 in a T20 game, apart from the top 4 or 5, unless there's a heavy collapse, he doesn't get to bat. And Rohit
Yeah.
Sharma, he's fixed as an opener. I don't think he's getting
Yes.
down anytime soon. And that's the
Yes.
problem. How many of them are actually flexible when it comes to their batting positions? That is what is going to make a difference.
Very true. Final question before we end this right now, because we've reached the 1 hour mark. Do you think West Indies can win a game right now, or do you think India will easily whitewash West Indies? Tanish, you first.
See, absolutely. If we have a great start, like openers are the base for any team, whether it's an international team or whether it's any T20 league. So if the openers have a great start, like something they score above 40 plus in the power play, then there can be a then we can see a 50-50 between both the teams. Like we can if West Indies score something around maybe 160 plus, like 160 plus, then there would be a tough competition for both the teams. Otherwise, there is no fun in watching a one-sided game.
Hmm.
I
Prasan, your
think
thoughts?
we should just bowl first. We should not allow West Indies to bat second, because it's always the thing with they either chase it or they don't. It's like they West Indies have always been the hitting kind of team, full powerful people. They can hit long sixes. So
Yeah,
I
like it
fancy
happened
them
in
in a
the
chase.
2016
Yeah. That's why I fancy
T20
them
World
in a
Cup.
chase more than them batting first. So I think we
True.
should put them the bat first and see out the game.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Paji sir, what do you think? Do you think West Indies have a chance, or do you think it's just easy whitewash, cakewalk for India right now? Yeah. Surinder sir, yeah. Surinder sir, your
Okay,
thoughts?
yeah. I see India winning, and I think India is probably a team that can chase and set a score, and they can also set a score and they can chase a score. So I really see India winning. I say I'd like to see India again chase on, put them in first, and then just chase them down. I think that will happen. And again, the due factor will have something in today if they pick two spinners, which they will. I can't see that, but what I want to see, if there's a third game, I want to see India being really positive and making some of these key changes that we've talked about. Give all the people in the squad a game, and
Hmm.
there's no harm, because we've got so many PayTM trophies, cabinet full of them. We just need the ICC one now. So all this planning should be happening coming towards to Australia. And I would experiment. I said, drop Kohli. I said, it's time to drop him. It's time. Give him one more game. If he doesn't score over 30, 35, drop him.
Varun, your thoughts?
We have already received a ICC trophy this month.
Which one?
I mean, the under
Under
19 one,
19
India.
World
yeah,
Cup.
but
19,
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
probably we
Yeah.
should take you from them at least. I mean, the thing is, the under 19 and women's team at least reach finals. We can't even go past semi-finals.
We can't even get to
Hey,
the song.
and Virat Kohli fans should understand that he also won ICC trophy as a captain. Under
Yeah.
19 World Cup.
Yeah,
100%.
2008.
Ah, okay. You don't need to brag about, he didn't win a cup anymore. He won one.
Well,
But
yeah.
Varun, your thoughts? I mean, does West Indies have a chance, or do you think India will just dominate in this 2020 series? And looking forward to Sri Lanka also next week. Just next week is that series also starting up on the 24th. So yeah, lot of preparations here ahead for India also to experiment their whole squad. So do you see that happening in the West Indies too, or do you think they'll experiment more in the Sri Lanka tour?
So first of all, if India win the second T20, I think West Indies, they might just go hard on India, and they might win the third T20, because there's no risk going for the big shots, because they already know they lost the series. So what's the point? They can just play they can just freestyle. They can play their own way. And even if now you guys are saying, India might make some changes and we want some changes. If they do make those changes, you can expect West Indies to win, because these guys, in the squad, they're first of all newcomers. They haven't had much experience in the Indian team. So West Indies has a slight chance of winning the third T20 if India wins the second T20, or else it's just India's series altogether. Going to Sri Lanka series, I think they should just implement the same thing. When are we playing in Bengaluru this time?
No, Bangalore is
No,
only test match. I think
Mohali and
Dharamshala.
Dharamshala.
Dharmshala.
One match in Mohali and then remaining two in Dharamshala.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Lucknow's hosting the test match then. I'm
mostly
not
like
sure.
cloudy and
Kind of
rainy
confused.
conditions,
Yeah,
right?
Mohali. I think Mohali first test match and then the day-night test match in Bangalore.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Okay. So I guess they're just gonna go back with Pujara and Rahane. We might just go back with our. We might just go
I am having a headache now.
I mean, to be honest, that's their best chance to stat pad. With all due respect against Sri Lanka, that's
it.
their only chance to get some runs.
Yeah,
See,
Give a
true.
chance
If
to
they don't
work.
even
Give
get
a
runs,
chance to.
if they
I
don't
only
even
have
get
to say-
runs against Sri Lanka, then thank you very much. Farewell.
First of all, I don't
What-
know why
what-
I spoke this much. I only have to say two words: Paytm Trophy.
Paytm Trophy.
Yes.
What I
Yes.
believe,
Finish.
what I believe is, instead of giving Ajinkya Rane and Chiteshwar Pujara a chance, give Varun and Prasanna a chance to open.
Ready? You ready?
Nice.
Flyers,
How
But
plays
that-
Kohli?
but-
just
How
flyers
plays
from the
Kohli?
United
How
States.
plays Kohli?
Just flyers from the United States. Give us a.
Hopefully we can see Prasanna breaking the record of Yuvraj Singh again, and Varun breaking the record of Brian Lara.
And I will break Kohli's social media record.
Why not? I mean, jokes aside, I think this West Indies and Sri Lanka series, you don't get a better chance to experiment this, because after this,
Yeah.
I think that's we go to England and play a T20 series, and after that, I'm not sure what the full schedule is.
Test match.
A test,
Test
a single
match.
test.
Single test, and then there is ODIs and there's T20s. I'm not sure the full thing is, but there are only less number of T20s. It's not that we're just playing T20s like we did in 2016.
Yeah.
Where we had a list of T20s. We played Australia, we played the Asia Cup, we played so many games, but this time it's not that. So you don't get a better chance than this to experiment.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And anyways, there is the IPL, which is fully T20 cricket as well. So we need to experiment in this West Indies and Sri Lanka series as much as possible to give us a chance of okay, we have 11 set, but in case if someone gets injured or if someone needs to take a rest or something, these players can come in and do a job.
I just have a question. Are Maharashtra pitches close enough to Australian pitches?
I mean, the grounds are not so much. Grounds are pretty much smaller.
What about the pitch conditions, like
Yeah.
batting wise and bowling wise? Anything similar?
Wankhede and MCD is a flat track, and Wankhede is pretty much a flat track as well. Brabant, not sure. There's hardly been cricket there for some time. I think so.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah, so guys, we'll end the stream. So thank you so much, Surinder sir, Varun, Tanish, and Prasanna. I think we went more than 1 hour, but I hope you guys watch it again because it was interesting discussion of the first
we can
2020.
speak for just 1 or 2 hours more, but we have things to do.
Yeah. And then no one will watch us if we do for 2 hours or 3 hours of discussion. So that's the thing. Yeah. So we limit to that. Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much, Surinder sir, Prasanna, Varun, and Tanish. And please do subscribe to Prasanna's YouTube channel also. I think he can put the link and then I can put it in the description. And please do follow Quick Chat Score from Varun. And please do follow Surinder sir as well and Tanish as well. So thank you so much, guys. And Cricket on the Stump, sorry, from Tanish as well. Yeah. So do follow their pages on Instagram. Thank you so much, guys. So that was the first review of India versus West Indies. India off to a good start, but some experiments to be done by the Indian team, and hopefully that will be done in the next 2 matches. But anyways, guys, thank you so much, and we'll be back for the review of the second 2020 between India versus West Indies. So thank you so much, guys, and see you in the next video. Please do subscribe to the Sports Breakdown. Please like, comment, and share. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.
Bye bye.
Thank you, bro. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Go India.
Have a great day.